What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video, I'm going to give you my review of the Vanguard V13 Gen 2. This is Vanguard's large diaphragm tube condenser mic, and if you follow my channel, you know I'm a huge fan of the V4, and Vanguard sent me the V13 to check out. Not only did they send me this to check out, they also gave me an exclusive code to save an extra 10% off the price of this mic right now through the end of September 2023. Now this mic has gone on sale a couple times this year, but right now it's currently not on sale. So if you're in the market for a V13 or you like what you hear after this review, then you can check the link in the description to save an extra 10%. All right, let's take a closer look. So this is the flight case that the V13 Gen 2 comes in, and just like the rest of the Gen 2 Vanguard mics, you've got this 3-digit combination lock that you can set. Inside, we've got the wooden box that the mic comes in. Got the mic cable and power cable. We got the shock mount, and then we have the power supply, which is a really hefty power supply. It's probably the heaviest power supply for a tube mic that I've used, or maybe outside of the Sony C800G, which is a massive power supply. But this also features this slot that you see here. You can swap tubes in this mic if you want to experiment. So 12AX7, 12AT7s, and 12AY7 tube types are compatible with this mic. So you can swap out tubes if you like. So let's take a closer look at the mic. We have a 0 and 10 dB pad. We've got flat, and we have a high pass filter of 125 hertz, which I feel is kind of high, but this is at a 6 dB slope, so it's pretty gentle. We also got some vents here on the back to let some of that heat out when the tube gets warm. Let's take a look at the power supply. So with the power supply, you've got, it's probably 11 or 13, let's see, or 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I got 9 polar pattern selections here. We've got cardioid in the middle, far left is omni, far right is figure 8, and we can go anywhere in between. Other specs we've got a standard 20 hertz to 20K for the frequency response. Signal to noise ratio is 82 dB A weighted. And what am I missing? SPL. This mic has a max SPL of 144 dB, and that is with the pad engaged. All right, let's get to the fun part and check out how this mic sounds. So we're going to check out the V13 on female vocals and rap vocals. This is the female vocals right here. This is an artist named Trisha Alicia. And we're also going to check it out going through a couple different preamps on each one. And that's going to be the MicTech MPA 201 and the Phoenix Audio Ascent 1 EQ, which is 2 mic pre's that I use a lot on vocals. Both of them are transformer balanced. The MicTech is transformers on the input and output. The Phoenix Audio is transformerless on the input and a transformer on the output, which I don't hit too hard on that one. I like to keep it clean with a little hint of color. All right, so the red track, the top track is going to be the V13 going through the MicTech preamp, and then the green is going through the Phoenix Audio preamp. All right, let's take a listen. Oh, you'll hear some background vocals too. Those weren't recorded with the V13. This is just the lead vocal that we did with the V13.
Just when I feel like I'm all alone, Jesus, you're there. You're there. Jesus, you're there with me. You're there with me. You're there with me. You're there, you are. Every day you're there. You're there.
All right, so one thing I want to point out is that you can hear she got pretty loud there, and yeah, it did clip the track, but it didn't sound bad. You can push tube mics a little bit because tubes offer just some subtle compression, which this was not tracked with any compression, but When you have someone getting loud like that, having a tube mic can help just for that slight bit of compression that you're able to achieve with it. All right, let's check out the Phoenix Audio, the V13 going through the Phoenix Audio preamp.
Just when I feel like I'm all alone, Jesus, you're there. You're there. Jesus, you're there with me. You're there with me. You're there with me. You're there. You are. Every day you're there. You're there with me. You're there.
All right, so what immediately stood out to me when listening to this back, and me and Trisha Alicia listened to this back after we recorded it, was the warmth and detail that this mic has. Now, we did kind of shoot this out with a couple other tube mics, and we did all prefer this one because of that warmth and detail that it had. Just those other tube mics just didn't have it, and I'm specifically referring to like the low mids. I'm going to play this again and just listen to the low mid detail and listen to how warm the low mids are without getting muddy. It's really impressive.
Just when I feel like I'm all alone, Jesus, you're there. You're there.
And on the Mic Tech preamp.
Just when I feel like I'm all alone, Jesus, you're there. You're there.
So I really want to hear this mic on like a female with a low voice, like a Toni Braxton, for example, who just really lives in that low mid range. The detail, like normally when a mic has that warmth, things will start to get muddy, and this isn't muddy at all. The high end that we're getting here is open, and even though this was not as bright as some of the other two mics that we put it up against, this still is not. It's not too bright. It's bright, but it's not overly bright. Those other two mics we put it up against were brighter. We don't have any nasty S's, no sibilance issues with this. So I'm really impressed with how this came out, and really impressed with the balance this has too, from that warmth and detail in the low mids up to the high end, where we're getting an open sound, but it's not too bright. All right, let's check this out on some rap vocals. Okay, so this is an artist named Virgos, and we've got the V13 going through the Phoenix Audio preamp, and then we've got the V13 going through the Empirical Labs Mic E without any compression. So the red track is the Phoenix Audio, and the blue track is the Empirical Labs Mic E. We'll start with the Phoenix Audio.
A lot of niggas wanna keep you close so they can freeload. Act like they was down, but they was never yo amigo. But the city still loving me. Baby girl hugging me. I'm no longer vegan, but I'm about to hit the Southern V.
All right, and the Empirical Labs Mic E.
A lot of niggas wanna keep you close so they can freeload. Act like they was down, but they was never yo amigo. But the city still loving me. Baby girl hugging me. I'm no longer vegan, but I'm about to hit the Southern V.
Okay, so we still have that warmth and detail that we have here in the low mids. I don't know, well, not that I don't know. I don't love it on his voice, and I think it's just because I don't think his voice needs that warmth. But the Empirical Labs was definitely a little cleaner to me. The Phoenix Audio has a little bit too much color. Maybe I had the input higher than maybe what it needed to be, because I do hear it saturating some more so than with the female vocals from where I had the gain at. Now, I think this vocal could have benefited from using the high-pass filter on the V13, which, like I said, felt a little high for me at 125 hertz, but you can start to roll off some of those low mids at 125 hertz. So I think that would have helped. We did record this with it just flat, but we don't have any sibilance issues, which is great. We do have clarity, and the vocal does sound forward. So this doesn't sound bad. I'm just probably being extra nitpicky on this, but Let's get into some final thoughts on the V13. So on the female vocal, I love a mic that I can record with that does not require any EQ, and I don't hear any EQ that needs to be done on that female vocal, and really not much EQ needed to be done on the rap vocal as well. So I mean, when you go for a really nice mic, you want a mic that you can record with, or that you will record with, and not have to carve up the sound with EQ. My goal when I'm recording vocal is to get it as close as I need it when I'm done recording. Therefore, I don't have to use 10, 12 plugins on it. I track with a good mic, good preamp, and a little bit of compression if needed. And my vocal is 90-95% done. I just need to just drop it in the mix. And that female vocal we recorded, I can just drop that in the mix and really just balance it and really be done. The rap vocal, being nitpicky, I'd probably want to add like a dB high end on it, just to kind of balance out a little of that edginess I'm hearing in it. But that's really it. But not a lot of EQ. There's nothing I feel like I need to cut or remove or anything like that. Now, compared to other tube mics, so the price for the V13 Gen 2 is $1,200. Once again, I've got a link in the description. You can save an extra 10% this month, which is September 2023. But $1,200 is a normal price for it. Looking at other tube mics in that price range, you've got the Telefunken TF29, which I have not used, which is $100 more actually. You've got the Aventone BV1, which I really like. The V13 compared to the BV1, the BV1 is brighter, but you don't have that low-end presence that you have with the V13. And then you have the Mojave MA200 is another one that's really popular at that price range. The Mojave has an interesting color. I'd say it's a little brighter than the V13 as well, but also does not have that low-mid presence as well. All right, but definitely comment and let me know what y'all think of the V13. And if you're using a tube mic, drop a comment and let me know what tube mic you're using. All right, I will have a link in the description if y'all want to check this out, learn more about it, or pick it up. Once again, you can save an extra 10% with the code that's in the description until the end of September 2023. All right, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if y'all want to continue to see content from me, then y'all know what to do.